Hello, welcome. My name is Susan, and today I'd like to talk about a subject that's been very important on my spiritual journey. I'm currently 9 years into a Kundalini awakening, and prior to that, I had a heart awakening with 4 months of bliss, and prior to that, I had a spiritual awakening where I went into unity consciousness for about 4 hours and many, many other experiences. And I'm still working. And one of the most challenging aspects, I think, of my inner work has been um, dealing with unworthiness or worthiness. So I really want to touch on that today because I think it's something that a lot of people are also dealing with. And it's something for me, it kind of, before my awakening, it went under the radar, so to speak. Like I always thought that I really liked myself and that I liked who I was, what I did, what I thought. I liked everything about me, I thought. Until I had my awakening, my Kundalini awakening, and really started digging into aspects of my personal self and discovered that I wasn't so likable inside. Deep in there, there was a part of me that wasn't deserving of love, of attention, of affection, of anything good happening in my life. And so getting to that part of myself, it took some time. And yeah, so it's been a lot of work on that subject matter. And I think like if I look back at my relationships, like my personal, professional, and intimate relationships, it's quite obvious that there was an unworthiness issue because I was very much a people pleaser, overachiever, always trying to impress or do good, do gooder, always doing for others, and rarely would I ever ask for anything for myself, always putting myself last. And anytime I did ask anyone for anything, I was always met with a feeling of rejection and just kind of rude behavior by the other people that I had been selflessly giving myself to and doing things for. And so I think a lot of us have realized that in our childhood, we discovered that, or what we thought was to get our parents' love or attention or positive attention, we needed to act a certain way. We needed to put parts of ourself away where no one would see it and just present some version of ourself that was okay for others to see, and always having to perform or do something to please others in order to get attention and love and affection, or at least that's our childhood interpretation of how that all worked. And so it's not an uncommon thing, I think, for many, many of us to have these deep feelings inside of not being worthy or good enough. And yeah, it definitely has a big impact on your life. It certainly had on my life, not only just in personal relationships that I suffered in a lot because I could never get my needs met, but also in like abundance, always struggling, and definitely it's connected, just that survival mode that many of us find ourselves in. And so in the early part of my awakening, I was doing a lot of inner work, to begin with, around forgiveness. And so I would daily sit for about an hour, and just any event or any person that popped into my mind, I would just work with, asking either for forgiveness, if it was something that I did, or offering forgiveness if it was something that someone else did. And I would just, whatever popped into my mind, I would just, say, I'm sorry. The whole Ho'oponopono, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I thank you, and made it very personal every time I did it. And sometimes, I could spend a whole 30 minutes on one person, if it was a difficult situation, or other times I could get through just a huge list of people. But I was doing this pretty consistently every day, and I started to receive messages from my higher self or spirit, every morning when I would wake up after I was doing this practice. And I would get messages like, you are second to none, which, after like having the spiritual awakening where I went into unity consciousness, like it's a lot easier to understand like where this higher message is coming from, because you're second to none, meaning that there is only one, that everything is connected. There can never be a second. So you can never be lower than anyone else or higher than anyone else. Everything is equal, because everything is connected, and it's all one. Just the whole unity consciousness thing. And so that was one of the messages that I received as kind of an encouragement for my heart work that I was doing with the forgiveness. And then another message I received was, there's nothing that you are not. And again, along the same lines of, you're connected with everything. There's nothing you're not. So how could you be unworthy? There's no way to be unworthy when you are a part of Source. You're created by Source. You're a part of Source. You're a part of this whole mirror, reflecting reality. You're not just some small little fragment within it. You're completely connected with it, not separate. And so it's impossible, again, to be unworthy. And another message, this one was a little bit more difficult for me to grasp, but it was a message of, you were never born. And that one took me a while to really connect with. But again, it's like this reality that we see is only an illusion, and we are eternal beings, and there is no birth, there is no death, only something that's in duality, dualistic thinking is born and dies. But the eternal, which you are, it just goes on and on. And so how could it ever be unworthy? And I actually, after I was getting those messages, I was house sitting at a friend's house and taking care of their dog, and they were going to be gone for 2 weeks. And so I was getting these messages every morning when I woke up, and then the last message I got, I woke up and there was like this black hole like over top of me, and it was trying to pull me up into this black hole. And my my thought was only of the dog, like, what if I'm gonna die? You know, if I don't come back, you know, like this poor dog will be locked in the house for 2 weeks, and won't have food, it won't have water, it can't go to the bathroom. Like, oh my gosh, it's this terrible situation. Like, so I just held on with everything I could to stay in my body and not get pulled out of my body. And finally, you know, the black hole just kind of went away. And I always like think back on that now and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't go and experience whatever that was going to be, because I'm sure at that time, because I was doing so much forgiveness work, I'm sure it would have been something beautiful. But I think because it was a black hole, the blackness was frightening to me. And yeah, I wish I would have done it, but then again, you know, like that's just goes to show like the level. Like I still my weakness, I guess, is animals, because I still put my I still put my animals before me. So yeah. But yeah, there's less people pleasing, I would say. Um, yeah, I've definitely I've definitely stand my ground. I have boundaries now, and that was a big problem for me, is that I had no boundaries. I didn't even know what boundaries were. And I always expected others to behave in an appropriate way, and was always disappointed in other people. And that was my own fault, because I never set boundaries and just expected people to be mind readers and know, you know, what upset me and what was okay and what wasn't. And yeah, now I'm very much into setting boundaries. So that's a big change, for sure. And also, I think with doing the inner work, if you look at the mirror outside, like in these 9 years of my awakening, my Kundalini awakening, it's taken a while for the outside mirror to change, but I can tell you that there's been like an incredible shift that I've seen in the people around me. Same people, but they have made a huge transformation as I've transformed. And I think part of our worthiness also is like, not that we need to do something to have worthiness, but if you think that you need to do something to have worthiness, then just doing the inner work, you're shifting the whole outer mirror with all the inner work that you do. And as you change those people around you, then they start changing people around them, and it just gets an increasingly larger and larger field of change, and making this mirror life a more beautiful place. And that's what this channel is about, making life beautiful. So anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to say about it right now. And I thank you for listening, and I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.